Well, a less than beautiful day in Cairns, a bit overcast, nothing special. It's Thursday. Apparently just got the unemployment figures are about 1% down on what they would normally be, so it's up over 6% unemployment, but it's going to go a lot higher than that fairly soon. And with the with these crazy restrictions we've got, it's going to take a while to get out of this mess, because for instance they're supposedly opening up bars on Saturday, as I mentioned, but of course there's a few provisos on that, and the most important one is there's only 10 customers allowed. And what it really means is that I say most pubs won't open. It's unviable. They can't make a quid if they've got a maximum of 10 patrons, and you can't, they're not opening the bars. So you've got to, it's basically if they're acting like a restaurant. So you have to have food, and you obviously have to sit at a table away from other patrons. So I like to sit at the bar, so I still can't do that, and there's no indication I'll even be able to do that midway through next month. Just is absurd. These people who run government, they don't know how businesses run. They don't obviously understand how many people are required to make enough money to make it a viable proposition. They're in cloud cuckoo land. So basically I'm expecting no pubs to open on the weekend, even though they've allowed it. It's going to be a total dud. And even when they increase it to 20, it's still going to be pretty tough for them to make ends meet. And I don't know if they'll even bother opening then. I think they should just do general social distancing in these places, and have inspections. If they have too many people in there, they shut them down, they fine them, whatever. Do it that way. But this prescriptive stuff of 10 people, and that's all venues, depending on, it doesn't matter what the size is. So I mean, how's that work? That doesn't seem very fair to me. If you've got a small corner pub, there aren't many of them around, but if you do, that's nowhere near as bad as if you've got a real big beer barn. So it doesn't make any sense. These people just don't think it through. They're just in their ivory towers, and they just have no connection with reality. I spoke to a friend yesterday I hadn't spoken to before. He used to live here, but now he's down in Brisbane. He's retired, and he's moved into a new place, and he's basically got what I refer to as a student room. He's got it's on the 15th floor of this building, at a place called Uni Lodge, and they've got quite a few locations around the country, but they've got quite a few in Brisbane as well. But what I noticed was that they were advertising these rooms, which are pretty small because it's student accommodation, only 18 squares, so it's a pretty tight living condition. So they're advertising these rooms for $300 a week online. But he told me he actually got his on the 15th floor, which would cost more normally than a ground floor one, and that only cost him $200 a week, and that included electricity. Now I mean, they're small, there's no balcony, it's got a little kitchenette, it's got a fridge, and he's got a queen size bed, I think, and an ensuite toilet. He says it's quiet, he's pretty happy there, it's central, so it doesn't worry him, and he'd be in his 60s, so it's weird that they obviously don't care that you don't fit the student profile, basically because all the overseas students who would have been filling this place are not there, so now there's a 25% discount on the rent there. So that shows you that it's really hitting the real estate market in certain areas, and obviously student accommodation is really taking a hit, as is holiday accommodation, and that explains why there was a couple of to-let signs on the front fence here for some time. There still is one, actually. It's very hard for landlords to find tenants. That's where all the parameters have changed until interstate travel opens up again, and in the case of Cairns, and overseas travel for other people, OS, who are trying to use like Airbnb. It's just that this type of income stream is just not viable anymore, so it's really affected people. So yeah, it's tough out there. It's my major issue is not money, it's just boredom. It's not much fun just sort of you know, being stuck in the flat all the time. So I'm getting out to do some shopping today. And the weather hasn't been brilliant, admittedly. It has been a bit rainy. Yeah, I was a bit worried about my friend because he likes going down the pubs quite regularly, and so with them all shut, I don't know what his. I thought he'd be going crazy, not being able to go out, but seems to be coping okay. Over here they've got the extension to Cairns Central, where they're going to have doing all the building work over here, and they're going to house Woolworths down this end, and that might be it just there that they're building right across there. That could be the Woolworths thing. It seems to be the only section they're working on, so hopefully it'll be finished sooner rather than later. So that would be good, because do all my supermarket shopping in the one location, so that'd be quite handy. Just going off to Body Corporate now. They've got a general meeting next Wednesday. Of course, can't go there in person because of all the corona garbage, so that has to be done electronically. Not that I know what I'm doing. There's a whole lot of stupid motions. I've got no idea really what they entail, but thought I'd do the right thing and fill it in. I was actually going to front up to the meeting. I've only ever attended one Body Corporate meeting in my life. I've been in a Body Corporate for at least 15 years and only ever attended one meeting. It shows my commitment to the cause. I missed out on it last year by one day. I forgot about it, and I went out and looked for kitchens on that day, and I realised when I got back I'd just missed the Body Corporate meeting, so no big deal. I'm sure it was incredibly boring. They are getting security gates built, which is nice. The quote's only about 10 grand. It's not too bad really, so it's well overdue, because you know, I've had my trike nicked from there, so I think it's good to have extra security, so that's a positive move. But yeah, I'll just drop off these votings. I could have scanned it in, I suppose, and sent it off, but might as well get out and about, give me an excuse to have a longer walk. It's not too bad along here. Some of the buildings aren't too bad. It heads towards where the convention centre is behind there, so it's not a bad part of town. But yeah, really nice. If I could have my Guinness again, but I don't think so. I think you're supposed to have food with the drink. That might be one of their crazy stipulations. I mean, they do have a kitchen at PJ's, but they deal with a huge number of patrons when they're going full blast, and so it'd be a pretty reasonable sized kitchen. I don't know if it'd be viable for them to open for a mere 10 people. During the day, that's probably all they're going to get on a normal quiet day there, but at night they used to have all the party goers do the rotation around me, so it's dead as compared to the crowds they got where they made all their money. So yeah, it's just like I said, bureaucrats have no idea what's happening on the ground with real people in this country, and I don't think politicians have been so out of touch in any time since Federation, quite frankly. It's the emergence of the professional politician, not a good thing in my opinion. That was a total waste of time. The bloody office is closed, and they didn't even have any provision for dropping off forms. I mean, they could have at least had a box or something there so you could put your voting forms in and someone could collect them from time to time, but no, you have to scan them and email them through. Well, that was not the way it was mentioned. I'm sure they said you could actually drop it off. So pathetic communication. Well, the aircraft type check-in with the ribbons directing you where there's queue is all gone. There's none of that now. They've just ditched it. Just talking to the checkout chick, she wasn't told why, or she just found out the next day she turned up and it wasn't here. So I think people are just getting sick of it all. Yeah, got a text from my friend Johan back in Saigon. He was a bit underwhelmed with Bung Tao, which is the place I visited a while back. Seaside sort of resort town, used to be oil town, just near the coast, or on the coast, about an hour and a half to 2 hours from Saigon. very popular with the Saigonese to go on the weekends, but he thought it was a bit dead. It's a quiet place. He went there on the weekend as well, but yeah, he wasn't overly impressed. He also told me that number 5 bar did open, but it was an abortive open, and they ended up having to be closed again. The cops shut them down because there was some sort of a confusion between different authorities whether they were allowed to reopen or not, and the local authorities came down and said no, you can't. So I don't know whether they've opened since, but that was what I heard about a week or so ago, so I'm not sure what the situation is now. So yeah, just very frustrating. And as I say here, they may as well not be opening because, well, they're not going to open, I don't think, and no pubs are going to open because of the strictness of the regulations here due to our clueless politicians. So yeah, I'd just like to, it'd just be so nice to get out of the flat and have a drink at a bar. God, is it asking too much? I mean, it's not that dangerous a thing to do, for God's sake. This is an insane world. We're becoming very, very fragile as a civilization, I think. And you have to be cautious. You have to reduce risks, but you can't avoid all risks in life. And there's things called calculated risks, and I just don't think people in control have taken that into account. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever, and either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.